This is WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM. And we have with us Sarah Sleevi of Female Strong. She is the program manager at Female Strong. And Sarah, thank you so much for joining us on WZRD today.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Well, first of all, Sarah, I saw on your website that young girls, as they grow older, well, very young, they at first they have like 86% have confidence in that they will be able to make as much money as the boys, but as they grow older, by high school, etc., the confidence goes down. What is the cause of that? What in their lives make them lose that confidence that they had when they were younger?
Yeah, that's a really great question. We have a lot of stats on our website if anyone wants to read some other kind of concerning statistics about girls' confidence as they grow up and the beliefs that they hold. And so that can be due to a number of factors, but at Female Strong, we really try to introduce the girls to women of influence in their local network that they can see as role models and use as examples of women who are totally shattering all of those belief systems that they have started to internalize. So through our programs, we introduce girls to high-powered female executives in Chicago and across the country, business mentors that they can work with one-on-one, guest speakers, etc. And as they get more involved with women who have reached really incredible success in their careers so far, we see those numbers start to climb back up to where they were when the girls were younger. So that's really our overarching mission. And we're really upset by the statistics of girls' confidence that we see today, but we are really trying to make an impact, and our programs really have a positive effect on our students. So we're really happy about that.
What are some of the female Chicago executives that you have brought in for the girls?
Yeah, so our founder is one of them. Emily Smith is her name, and she works in commercial real estate. And she's one of very few women who has reached her level of success in the industry. And so she started Female Strong purely because of that, because she looked around and didn't see any other women who had achieved her level of success. And she was totally thrown off by that and just thought it was such a shame. So she started our organization back in 2014. And through her network, she was able to get various speakers and mentors from all different industries. We've had the founder of Jenny's Ice Cream, Jenny Britton. We've had the founder of Olive and June, founders of really incredible bakeries, Brown Sugar Bakery down in the South Side. That founder, Stephanie Hart, has been a really incredible speaker for our students. The founder of Simply Be Marketing Agency, Jessica Zweig, so many other powerful women and small business owners as well, because our programs really focused on building entrepreneurship along with kind of developing those soft skills, the confidence, the curiosity, the creativity, things like that. In tandem with developing soft skills, we also try to inspire girls to develop business acumen and entrepreneurship and just the entrepreneurial spirit, and give them tactical skills to actually develop a business themselves so they can see what that would look like. So we have speakers from all different areas of business, from marketing, graphic design, accounting, manufacturing, every different part of the process. So we have an incredible network of volunteer speakers and guests and mentors, and it really runs the gamut. So I can't even name all the people that these girls are introduced to, but it's really awesome. Yeah.
Are you able to bring in some people of color, women of color, to talk with the girls? Because on that study that you have on the website, the stats show that there are very few women, and then for women of color, their visibility is practically zero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And we really do try to make sure we're incorporating a really diverse range of speakers and mentors and instructors for our students. Right now, we have a really amazing instructor for our Young Entrepreneurs Academy program, which is a program that lasts 6 months where students develop a business from from its idea stage all the way to the actual launch of the business, and then they compete for funding. And our instructor that I work with on that program, Tanisha Hood, is a wonderful role model for our students. She is a really amazing example of a powerful woman of color who has achieved incredible things, and she's so great with the girls. She is always inspiring them to live to their fullest potential and never let things knock them down or feel like they can't succeed because of their background or their experiences or whatever it is. So she's one example that I have found so much value with having her on our team, and she's been a really great role model for our students who are predominantly in the YAY program. We do have a lot of students of color, and so it's really great for them to have that role model every week who has had a shared experience that they've had. And so we have Tanisha Hood. I love her so much. And then on our board of directors, we have the amazing Kalila Lyons, who's a really wonderful DEI leader, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And not only is she kind of on our board overseeing the general operations of Female Strong, she's also working with us in the weeds. She's actually speaking at our YAY class tonight to talk to the girls about experiencing life through the B list, as she calls it. And she's done DEI training for our internal team as well, which is amazing. And one of my favorite things is that the girls get to be exposed to powerful women of color who are themselves entrepreneurs or really high-level CEOs. So some of the best speakers that I remember from my time with Female Strong are Stephanie Hart from Brown Sugar Bakeries. I mentioned her earlier. She runs a bakery on the South Side, and she is just incredible, and she has so much wisdom and amazing advice to share with the students. And yeah, we just have so many wonderful people in our network, and we're always looking to add more diversity to every program and every speaking opportunity we have. So yeah, that's really an important tenet for us.
What is the B list? Is the B list on track to be have the eye on the A list?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm going to find out tonight, but I think what Kalila is really going to focus on in her presentation with these students is less about the hard skills of being an entrepreneur, because that's a bulk of the program that we do for these students. This YAY program focuses a lot on the hard skills, writing a business plan, making a prototype, things like that. But Kalila herself is an entrepreneur and a businesswoman, and her strength really comes from honing a lot of the soft skills that are needed, like communication, setting boundaries, knowing yourself and how you show up in a space, holding yourself accountable, all these different things that she's going to talk with the students tonight about. And I think that what she means by experiencing life through the B list is really being comfortable with where you are. Even if you don't feel like you're on the A list, you can still have a really meaningful life and a really incredible journey and reach incredible success. So we'll see. But if people are interested in hearing more about that, they can sign up for our YAY program and come to the classes themselves.
Well, thank you. And
Yeah.
When these entrepreneurs and these leaders, female leaders, come to speak with the kids, these young, very young students, how have they found that for themselves, mentorship helped them the most? Because how were they able to break out of the same kind of thinking? Is that the key?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really great question to think about. I would actually, now I'm going to start asking our guest speakers that. That's a great thing to kind of note, because what I've noticed is that a lot of our speakers, or the people that we bring in to really be mentors for the students, they either have had really incredible mentorship themselves, so they know the significance and the impact that that can have, or they didn't have that opportunity and they want something different for the younger generation, for our future female leaders. So I think it's really one of those two things. And although it's really impressive to see someone achieve success in their chosen field without having had a mentorship opportunity, it seems like those who have had that mentorship and that really great role model experience are so much more satisfied with the process, and they reflect back on their process so much more fondly than those who had to completely go it alone. So we really are trying to make sure that our students feel really supported, and they have someone that they can look up to when they're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm not motivated, or I'm running into challenges with my business idea. or I'm not like holding myself accountable to the goals that I've set, they can have a great example who's working one-on-one with them, who can really inspire them, motivate them, keep them accountable. And that's been a really important key for the success of the students.
Also, if the of course, mentorship is important. When you when Yale Academy and Female Strong tries to work with these young students, is it that if they are reached at an earlier age, so that then you want to sow the seed so that they start thinking entrepreneurially even before they go into the workforce, so that they could get a head start?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really the key for us. Our YAY program that we've been talking about so far is for students who are 6th grade all the way up to almost seniors in high school, so like 17 years old. And we've had really impressive 6th graders who have won the competition that is part of our YAY program. And then we've had other like 17-year-olds who are really incredible. You never really know who's going to be the entrepreneur who wins the most funding at our funding competition, the investor panel at the end of the program. But what we have noticed is that the students in the YAY program are usually signing up to join that program because they already have an entrepreneurial desire or a spirit inside of them, or they already even have a business idea that they want to hone and develop in the program. Whereas other students, I mean, myself included, when I was in 6th grade, I was not thinking about launching a business. I didn't have any of those ideas. So we also want to meet our students where they're at. And we hold another program that was formerly called Idea Camp. Now we're calling it Female Strong Camp, just because that's really what it is. And each one has a different theme. But our Female Strong Camp is for a younger group of students, anywhere from like 8 to 12 years old. And that program is a lot shorter than the YAY one, but it's really exciting. It's really fun. And it helps girls reflect on things like their confidence, their curiosity, their passions, their ideas, and their creativity. And we weave that kind of entrepreneurship curiosity into that program so that girls can start thinking about, if there was nothing in my way, what kind of business could I launch? What kind of ideas do I have about how to solve a problem that the world is facing and how to turn that into a business idea? So we use that program to kind of try to spark those questions in students. And then the YAY program really attracts students who already have that feeling. So even though most of our girls in any of our programs, most of them are not planning to become entrepreneurs, or maybe most are, but definitely some are not planning to be a founder of a business. Several of our students want to be surgeons, doctors, artists, musicians, like all these different things. But the skills that they're learning are still relevant because the skills they learn help them with public speaking, helps them with project management, with goal setting, with really technical work that maybe they don't know how to write a business plan, but they spend a lot of time researching how to do that. And all of those skills can be applied to any career that they might end up going into. So our programs really aren't specifically to try to churn out new entrepreneurs. If that happens, that's great, but really the focus is just to boost those levels of confidence, the ability to be in a room full of men who are really intimidating on the board of directors and still be able to present yourself in a really professional, authentic way. And that's what all of our programs are striving to do. And I think we're getting there one by one.
For the Female Strong Camp, could you tell us a little bit more about that? Is that part of the Yale Academy, or could or nonprofits or local communities invite the Female Strong Camp to their organization or community?
Yeah, so the YAY program is part of a national program called Young Entrepreneurs Academy, and we host our own all-girl cohort in Chicago. We're the only one in the country that does exclusively a girl-focused chapter. And so that is one program that we have. And then Female Strong Camp, which we have previously called Idea Camp, is a completely separate program. Sometimes we have girls overlapping. They'll do an Idea Camp in the summer, and then that fall they'll join us in the YAY program. But the Idea Camp, which is now called Female Strong Camp, we used to hold those in the summer virtually so that we could offer them to girls all over the country. And then we also had an in-person option for anyone in the downtown, like local Chicagoland area. And we would go to different Chicago places like the Willis Tower, the Paper Source headquarters, Catalyst Ranch, all these exciting places, and they'd hear from different speakers. So we always like to have that kind of virtual opportunity and then an in-person opportunity so that we can focus on the local community of girls, and then we can also reach a little bit further by hosting something virtually. But now we have started moving into a new era of that female strong camp, because we found that corporations are very excited and energized to host their own female strong camp. So now we have started selling our curriculum to corporations that want to host their own female strong camp. And then we'll come for one full day from like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll join them at their location, and all of the daughters of their employees or the clients that they invite, whoever they want to invite, will host a camp just for those girls. And that includes a lot of really fun activities like a really great session all about confidence and reflecting on your own confidence, the things you want to work on, and then writing a really great letter to yourself 5 years from now so that you can kind of check in with your future self. It's got a really great vision board component with materials provided from our amazing friends at Paper Source. And that's a really fun part of the day that the girls look forward to. We have slime, we have all these fun icebreakers and activities for the girls to get to know each other and themselves a little better. So we're now starting to offer those to corporations. And we had our first one this weekend, actually, on Saturday with Bear Construction in Rolling Meadows. And it was such a blast. All the kids had so much fun. And it was also a way for the Bear Construction employees to kind of give back to their community. And they helped us lead all of the sessions and talked a lot about why they were interested in hosting the Idea Camp. So it's a really great kind of win-win for the students and for the corporation that wants to host one. So we are offering those now. And if anyone's interested, they can email me at sarah@femalestrong.org, sarah@femalestrong.org. And I'm happy to set up a call and talk to anyone who's interested in hosting one.
It sounds as if Bear Construction is already recruiting their next generation of employees.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
When for that competition that you were talking about, do the different grade levels compete among the different grade levels, or are they all the different levels from 6th grade to seniors? They compete against each other, right?
Yeah, they compete against each other. So that's part of the Yay Chicago program, Young Entrepreneurs Academy. It's 6 months long, and at the end of that 6 months, which usually falls in late March, we hold a really amazing event called Investor Panel, and it's kind of modeled after Shark Tank. So we have a panel of like 10 or so local Chicago executives, or I guess they're from all over the country because usually they're joining us virtually, some of them, and they donate a lump sum of money to this pool of seed funding. And then the students, one by one, present their business idea, and they give a really great pitch with all of the financials, with a prototype, a really professional business pitch to the investors. And then the investors ask them follow-up questions about what would you do if this were the case, or how would you manufacture locally, or whatever kind of questions they have to test the students' knowledge. They ask a couple of those, and then after all of the presentations, the investors talk amongst themselves and they decide how much they're going to invest in each business idea. And so there's no breakdown based on girls who are 6th graders versus 11th graders. It's just all of them presenting all at once. And what we've seen is that actually sometimes the youngest students are the ones who end up shining the most. And it's really mostly about how passionate and how serious they are about their project, and very little to do with their age. So that's really incredible. And by the end of that event, each student walks away with at least like a few $100s up to a couple $1,000s to invest in their business. And they can use that funding for supplies, for marketing, for a website, an app, things like that, as long as it's not a brick and mortar idea, because we can't fund a brick and mortar store that someone wants to launch, and that's just a stipulation from the national program. But everything else is completely fair game, and we've had some really incredible ideas from our students.
Do you have any notable graduates? Because Emily Smith founded Female Strong in 2014, so it's been 8 years.
Mhm.
And are there any notable graduates that have came out of Female Strong and have done well?
Oh, absolutely. I think all of our graduates are amazing. And actually, we have a kind of a cohort group called the Student Ambassadors, which is for any students who have graduated from our Yay Chicago program. We really want to keep them involved and keep them in our network. And so we have a Student Ambassadors program for those students, and they can stay in touch with each other that way. They can hold each other accountable to new goals or projects they're working on, or if they're still developing their business idea from the Yay class that they were in. So we really are able to keep in touch with all of our former students, which is great. And they're all impressive and amazing, and they're all at different stages of their life now. Some of them are in college or have even graduated from college. Some are still in high school. One that comes to mind immediately is a student from I think our cohort of 2019-2020. Her name is Ira Mudasir, and she is a really phenomenal student. She's working on so many projects all the time. She hosts her own podcast called Grow Wealthy, and she has written a children's book as well that you can buy on Amazon. She has just won our college scholarship that we have in partnership with the Jean Schumann Scholarship Fund, who Jean Schumann was a really wonderful woman, and her daughter has graciously offered to have a scholarship fund for our Yay graduate students. So every year we allow students to apply for that scholarship, and one student is selected by Jean Schumann's daughter. And this year's winner was Ira Mudasir. She's studying business and economics at DePaul University, and she has been such a wealth of support for our current students. She's always volunteering for things. She's always offering to speak at events to give a student's perspective on Female Strong, and she just has a really bright future, and she's incredible. So she comes to mind. Then we've had so many other students who end up going to Ivy League colleges, who don't even continue studying business, but maybe they enter medical school or another field, or they're pursuing acting or theater or something like that. And they're all just really impressive, incredibly professional and kind, compassionate, very confident students. And that's really what we love to see. That's what we really strive for.
Do the student ambassadors get compensated or in any way, or are they just all volunteers?
It's completely volunteer based, and they meet pretty regularly just to have conversations with each other, just to stay in touch, just to like see how people are doing, where they are in their lives now. But then also they're always willing to support me when I ask for volunteers to help chaperone our younger students or conduct interviews for the Yay program, anything like that. They're always willing to raise a hand and help. So it's great to have that volunteer base from our former students.
So Sarah, are you a graduate of the program? Not a graduate, but how did you start in Female Strong?
Oh, great. Well, I'm not technically a graduate of our programs, but I pretty much consider myself to be one, because at this point I've been through a few of our idea camps, and I'm managing our Yay program right now, which has just started about a month ago. So we're in the beginning stages of our current Yay program. And I feel like I learn just as much from each of our programs as the students. It's really great for me to be there instructing or mentoring the students, because I'm getting just as much out of the content and learning a lot from the students as well. And I actually just finished my own MBA program at DePaul earlier this summer, and it's really cool to see a lot of the things I learned in my studies being taught to these 6th, 7th, 8th grade students in a more digestible manner, because some of these business skills are things you really can learn at any age. You just need the proper instruction and interest and curiosity in learning them and devouring them, and that's what our students have. So I got involved with Female Strong after moving to Chicago in the middle of the pandemic. I had just gotten home from a 2-year volunteer term in Tanzania in East Africa, and I was teaching in a school there, an elementary school, and all of my local friends they had a main job, and then they were entrepreneurs on the side. Almost every single one of them had some kind of project that they were working on that they were trying to launch. And they had very little formal instruction in business or entrepreneurship, but they had an idea and they were just going for it. And that really stuck with me when I got home, and I was really looking to find something that could blend my interest in like entrepreneurship and what that looks like and how to support entrepreneurs, and then also working with youth, which has always been something I love. And one day I randomly stumbled across Female Strong on LinkedIn, and it just seemed like the perfect place for me. So I quickly got in touch with the founder, Emily Smith, who was so receptive and so sweet. And I just found out there was an open position. I interviewed for the position, and I've been here ever since. So it's been a really great experience for me too. And I totally consider myself to be a graduate of our programs. Absolutely.
How do you find the students? Do they come to you, or is there outreach to a specific group of students?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're always working on recruiting and tapping different areas and different pools of people, because really we try to have a strong presence on social media. We try to do some interviews like this, or our founder Emily will go on WGN or other local networks for interviews occasionally, and so we reach a lot of people that way. But also our founder Emily and the members of our board of directors all have really amazing networks, professional networks, and sometimes we're getting students from that network, from the children of those people. And so it's really cool when we have students in our program who are the daughters of a small business owner or a CEO or whatever. It's really cool to kind of see that legacy effect. And then we also have students who randomly were searching like female empowerment or entrepreneurship camp or something on Google, and they just stumble upon us that way. So it's really interesting. We get girls from all different backgrounds, from all different like methods of connection, and we really like that. We have a really diverse group of participants in most of our programs.
Hopefully you have time for one more question.
Yeah.
How did the girls camp, I forgot what the exact name was, how did that form in Chicago rather than somewhere else?
I see. Yeah. So we are Chicago based purely because our founder, Emily Smith, is a Chicago resident, and she is in the commercial real estate industry here. And so she was looking around her in the Chicagoland area and really noticed a lack of female executives, women in like high level roles in the C-suite, etc. And so it just started in Chicago. And because we're still a really small but mighty staff of just a few people, we are trying to expand our reach, but our focus is really on Chicago for right now, at least for our in-person programs. But virtually, we're able to expand. And we've had students from Egypt, we've had students from the Philippines, from the UK, Canada. So it's really great that we have that virtual option. And that was basically just the result of the pandemic limiting us. But we were able to kind of turn that into a growth opportunity as well. So hopefully we'll keep expanding in the future. But for now, our in-person focus is really on the Chicagoland, and then we'll see where it goes in the future.
So if people want to learn more about Female Strong and the Female Strong Camp, and as well as the Yay Academy, where would the parents and maybe some young girls are listening now, where would they go?
Awesome. Yeah, they would go to femalestrong.org. You can learn all about all these statistics we've been talking about, our origin story, all of our events and programs. All of that's on our website. And then I highly recommend that you follow us on Instagram at We Are Female Strong. We have a lot of inspirational stuff there, a lot of really cool content that lives there. And then you can also email me at sarah@femalestrong.org if you have any general questions or kind of want to hear more about certain things, if you're interested in hosting a corporate camp, or even if you're interested in being one of the investors on our investor panel, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to chat about any of that stuff.
Thank you so much, Sarah Sleevi, Program Manager at Female Strong, for joining us at WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. Have a great one.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.